Overcoming Obstacles, From Hercules to Buddha. Deduction Philosophy Spotlight, Buddhism. Buddhism is the gentle but relentless teacher that asks us to see the world as it truly is and to respond to each moment with calm insight. When the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths, he was not just a scholar but a practitioner who had seen suffering, understood its root cause, and discovered a path to freedom. The core idea that every obstacle is a chance to practice compassion, to hone awareness, and to grow the heart is simple and powerful. Take the story of the Buddha learning to meditate under a bodhi tree, sleeping through the night surrounded by darkness. When his disciples woke him because of a storm, he had built a protective canopy, yet the wind still battered the tree. The Buddha responded not with fury, but with understanding, realizing that his emotions were like the wind, uncommanded but still present. He stayed still, mindful of each breath. The lesson for us is that obstacles are invitations to train the mind. From this ancient insight, we lift 3 concrete lessons for today. 1. View problems as practice. Each challenge becomes a mini lesson that sharpens resilience. 2. Cultivate present moment awareness. By focusing fully on what is happening now, we remove overthinking and avoid the paralysis that often precedes crisis. 3. Keep a compassionate stance toward yourself. When the self falters, be the patient teacher you would give a child, for harsh judgment only feeds frustration. These teachings connect naturally to our narrative of overcoming obstacles. Hercules faced the 12 labors with physical might. Buddha turned the greatest inner obstacle, attachment, into liberation. Both use the same underlying approach: transform the obstacle, grow through it, believe in their capacity. Chapter 1. The Inevitable Weight. In ancient Greece, the hero Hercules received a commission from King Eurystheus that seemed impossible: the 12 labors. The first labor asked Hercules to clean the Augean stables, a task that would destroy his health. Yet he faced the task because he feared the wrath of the gods more than any earthly danger. His confidence was measured not by what he had done before, but by his conviction that he could complete what everyone else could not. The core lesson is that even when the world sets a mountain before us, faith in our own ability can become the very catalyst that turns the impossible into the possible. In modern business, an entrepreneur who sets a seemingly unreachable goal, say, launching a product within 3 months of concept, will sometimes be laughed at. But if that entrepreneur trusts his own creative instincts, he can assemble a team, define milestones, and move forward in a way that surpasses the skepticism of others. Applying this today is straightforward. Begin each day by stating one bold action you will pursue, even if it feels audacious. Write it down, commit to a small step, and then let that step drive you. This simple act of belief aligns your thoughts with action and reduces the paralysis that accompanies a steep challenge. The story of Hercules reminds us that the secret weapon to overcoming great hurdles is the conviction that we are capable, no matter what external evidence suggests. Conclusion. You see, obstacles do not define our limits, our belief in ourselves does. Call to action. If today's story resonated with you, remember to like this video, share it with someone who needs a dose of confidence, and subscribe so you can join us on the next chapter of our journey. Reflective question. When you face a daunting task that feels nearly impossible, what single belief can you adopt to transform that obstacle into an opportunity for growth? Chapter 2. The River of Mind. The tale of Buddha's journey toward the bodhi tree was not a simple quest for enlightenment. It was a duel with the internal river of desire and the roar of ignorance. He confronted the 4 devas, beings who tried to lure him with illusion, and found the damsel of pride who whispered about his supposed greatness. In all these moments, the Buddha stayed present, observing sensations without becoming entangled. The lesson carried to us is that the most formidable obstacles often come from our own mind. When we are stressed, fear lingers, the world seems hostile, and we may feel trapped. Yet we can choose to step back, breathe, and become the observer. In contemporary life, a salesperson may feel the pressure of closing a high-value sale. If they let their nerves take over, they might appear flustered and lose the client's trust. If instead they pause, breathe, and listen to the client's needs fully, they maintain presence and project confidence. Example of application today. When you feel the pressure building in a critical meeting, close your eyes for a moment, take a slow breath, and shift your attention from the thoughts of what if to the immediate sound of the room. This creates space for calm and clarity, allowing you to answer more persuasively, just as the Buddha stepped back from his thoughts to remain serene amid trials. Conclusion: every internal storm is an invitation to practice calm awareness. When we learn to navigate the currents of our own thoughts, we become masters of our destiny. Call to action: if you found this insight useful, give the channel a thumbs up, share with your team, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more stories of triumph over hardship. Reflective question: what mental habit are you willing to leave behind so that you can face each obstacle with calm confidence? Chapter 3: Strength from Failure. In the annals of history, the story of the Persian king Xerxes who burned his own ships once he entered the Greek Bay is a timeless lesson. By destroying his fleet, Xerxes removed a source of panic. Failure was no longer an option. He turned a perceived weakness, the ship's fragility, into an unyielding strength. Modern entrepreneurs can learn much from this story. Consider a tech startup that launches a product, faces a disastrous launch, and then chooses to analyze failure without shame. By committing to a post-mortem meeting where every mistake is dissected, the team builds a culture that turns loss into learning. Example of application today. Imagine you've faced a budget cut. It feels like a setback. Instead of retreating, schedule a brief huddle with your team. List what doesn't work, ask how you can reallocate resources, and brainstorm new revenue streams. In doing so, you use the setback as a springboard to innovation, a modern reflection of Xerxes' burning of the ships to avoid defeat. Conclusion: failure is not a verdict. It is an instructor that demands we adapt, learn, and forward our path with greater wisdom. Call to action: if you agree that every failure is an opportunity, hit the like button, share your own turning point story in the comments, and subscribe for more journeys of resilience. Reflective question: how can you change your mindset about failure to transform it into a powerful tool for growth? Chapter 4: The Grain of a Spice. Remember the story of the ancient Chinese sage Laozi, who taught that the true master does not seek to dominate anything, but simply lets everything unfold. He saw the universe as a vast pot of boiling broth, and every element, the grain, the spice, the tea leaves, contributed its own flavor without conflict. Apply that to the practice of self-belief. Self-confidence is not a single, roaring fire. It is akin to a gentle, steady flame embedded in the grain of your own spirit. When you nurture that flame with consistency, it will produce the aroma of self-belief that everyone in your environment can smell. In a practical business context, think of your brand as a fragrant tea blend. Start by ensuring each component, product quality, customer relations, personal integrity, is strong. Each small, consistent improvement will reinforce the overall aroma of trust that people will taste even when you are not present. Example of application today. If you are a leader struggling to inspire, start with daily brief rituals. A quick check-in with key members, a short reflection on each success, and a moment to express gratitude. Over time, these practices will build confidence not only within yourself, but in your entire team. Conclusion: your belief in self is a subtle spice that must be cultivated with care. Small, consistent acts of confidence yield a powerful, lasting flavor. Call to action: if you're ready to let your personal confidence simmer, press the like button, share this video as a motivational spark, and subscribe for more timeless strategies. Reflective question: what small daily habit can you adopt to steadily enrich the flavor of self-belief in your life? Chapter 5: The Final Labour. Back at the beginning of our journey, Hercules faced his final challenge, slaying the Nemean lion. He understood that the lion's hide could not be pierced by ordinary weapons. He solved this by using his own agility and by turning his strength into a strategy. He suffocated the beast in the mud. The lion's greatest weakness became his victory. In modern terms, your biggest obstacle might be a situation that seems unyielding, a demanding project, a tough client, or an internal fear that feels like a lion. Yet, every obstacle possesses an identifiable weakness. Your task is to observe, analyze, and exploit it. Example of application today. If you're dealing with a difficult stakeholder, perhaps their primary concern is control, not content. Offer them a platform to lead the project, but within defined boundaries. By acknowledging that need in a way that serves the larger goal, you convert their perceived resistance into a collaboration, just as Hercules converted the lion's hide into a weakness. Conclusion: the final labor of every journey is to turn the biggest obstacle into a stepping stone toward greater purpose. By trusting our own belief and strategy, we can finally triumph. Call to action: I invite you to like, share, and subscribe so that we can continue to explore how ancient wisdom can empower modern lives. Reflective question: when facing your own Nemean lion, what hidden weakness can you identify that will transform the obstacle into an opportunity? We have traversed the landscapes of Greek heroism, Eastern mindfulness, and the timeless human struggle against adversity. Let us remember that every obstacle is simply a hidden lesson waiting for our belief to unlock it. May you step forward with the courage of Hercules, the calm of Buddha, and the steady spirit of the ancient sage. Thank you for joining us on this journey.